Hey guys, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video with Soul. If you're new to my channel, I'm a psychic medium, a spiritual life coach, and just a spiritual girl putting everybody on alongside a whole lot of other things. But today in this video, guys, it is Spiritual Monday. What's up? I wanted to come through to talk about a video topic that it came to me very spiritually speaking. I didn't expect it. It's about the spirituality behind the colors and what wearing each color means. And I didn't expect to make a video like this because I'm not like it's not something that's on my mind too often in that sense. But I've gotten a few signs to talk about this topic, and I feel like that's something that will obviously benefit if it has come to me so persistently in some way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to move that to a better angle. I think it just went back exactly to how it was at the beginning. Hey guys. But okay, so with that being said, it's really funny because every single color that I wear, it's not something that I do based on the actual meaning of the colors. I do it more based on my feeling. So for example, today when I did my makeup, I aimed for like a purplish, maroonish, like reddish brown kind of thing like that. And then today I went to the thrift store and I found this shirt. Like I literally just bought this shirt. And isn't it crazy? It goes with my makeup like very much, you know? So I thought that that was pretty crazy. Hey, New Zealand. I thought that that was pretty crazy because obviously this video, I knew I was going to make this video today, and talking about the spirituality of the colors is definitely something, like I stated, to keep in mind. It's not something that you have to ride by or anything like that, but I will say it does make a difference in terms of, again, the energy like that you're putting out there into the universe and what you want to receive. Okay, so I know that for myself, well, I know in general when people wear different colors, they have a different vibe with it. And te amo too, girl. Hey, or boy, what's up? Hey, boo. But yeah, basically. It's just something that, you know, if you want to wear like the color red, you're probably trying to put a certain kind of energy out there. Or if you want to wear blue, you're probably trying to calm things down, or maybe you feel calmer in that sense, because I know that that's how I am sometimes. If I feel very calm and I'm like, it's very chill right now, like I want to wear something blue for today, for example, or I want to sleep in blue. Or if I'm feeling like, oh, I'm gonna be outside and I'm gonna be with like a bunch of nature, I would wear something greener, but it's not something where I will wear those things, and that's like basically only based on that. It's more of just how you feel about it, right? So with that being said, I'm going to be reading what I have written down here about what each color represents, and we can talk about it. But the first one is wearing the color red, which is obviously, yes, very much for stimulating your mind, body, and soul, because it's a very passionate color. If you're going to wear the color red, I would say that you should be prepared for a little bit of attention, you know, like more attention, external attention that you're probably maybe not even used to receiving. But it's something where people are going to notice you a lot more, because it is a color that it does ground you, but it's something that stands out a lot, because keep in mind that red goes with the root chakra, and the root chakra is responsible for your security in life. It's responsible for your direction, you feeling like you have courage and a strong basis in this reality. And if you're going to wear the color red, understand that that is going to ground you more. It's going to help give you more of a natural sense of direction, because you will feel like the domineering one, you know, like the leadership role basically in front of everyone else. But it is a color that you wear mostly when you're okay with a little bit of extra attention on you, like I stated, but also just when you're ready to be more passionate and abrupt about things in life. Like if you're somebody who's maybe not aggressive, but you're blunt, you're someone who wants to be more outspoken. And even if you don't want to be, it's just something that comes with it. I kid you not, bro. Like every time I wear red, it's something where it's like it's always so noticed, you know. And I never intended to be like that, but it just is. And I feel like that's come to show to me that these colors do represent a lot for our realities, even if we don't fully realize that. Okay, so I feel like that's like a big one to start with, because obviously the color red is very loud. But okay, so the next one is orange. So orange to me obviously works with the sacral chakra, which is your second chakra coming up. And what it represents is creativity, which it does. It represents having connections with other people, transformation. It represents having some sort of, I would say, a healing power, but it's more about being able to work past any kind of fears regarding creativity, sexuality, basically like that, those kinds of areas. If you're gonna wear the color orange, I feel like that's something that makes people feel very cheery in life. If people see you wearing the color orange, especially children, older people usually, they tend to notice it. I'm not gonna say more than red because it's not like that, but it just every color gets a different reaction. So if you're wearing the color orange, people are probably going to feel like you're more inclined to being artistic in life. Like if you're someone who likes to draw a lot, or you're someone who likes to dress up and be basically fashionista, that kind of thing. I feel like orange is definitely going to help benefit that, like put it out in display. But as well as that, it does work, like I stated, on your creativity and the parts of you that you may be neglecting out of fear of being your most creative self. And I feel like if you're, like I said, if you're going to wear the color orange, you have to be prepared for basically doing whatever it is in your life that you want to be doing that's going to make you the very happiest. I also know that wearing the color orange does represent having some sort of extrovertedness. So I would say it's similar to red, but I feel like with red, it's more of a statement color, but with orange, it's more of a leader. It's also, I think I said with the red, it's like a leadership role. With orange, it's more of a like an extroverted kind of they're both attention grabbing, but orange gives more of a, I feel like, a softer appeal on the side. Okay, so that's something that I also noticed a lot. I don't really wear orange that much, but when I do and have worn orange and things like that, people don't really point it out to me, but I will say that it gives more of a vibe of being or helping people being able to see their oyster, meaning the world, as exactly what they want it to be. So I feel like with orange as well, I don't know, it brings me a lot of like cheery vibes and things, which I feel does correspond with yellow. But I feel like yellow actually irritates people a little bit more. And I feel like the reason that it does is because it's too loud in some senses. And I mean more of like too cheery. Some people, they get overwhelmed by such cheeriness, such sun energy, which yellow does generally rule, obviously, like Leos and Leo placement, the sun as a whole, all that stuff. It's the sacral chakra, no, the solar plexus chakra, excuse me. So solar, obviously, it's like the sun. So whenever you wear the color yellow, I feel like one of the bigger things that you should be taking with you is, yes, like the fact that it radiates so much optimism and a person who's generally very joyful. I will say that those people who have yellow auras, I've noticed that they're the kinds of people who are very, very friend oriented. They may not even be truly social people, but they're people who like connections and they like to have people in their lives who they feel bound to in some way, where it's almost like, okay, we're in a group, like we all know each other. It feels good to be like this, things like that. And obviously gives them a lot of comfort to be surrounded by people, which I have noticed a lot with that. I will say as well that yellow does give the energy of, I would say, like, being a little bit more careful, but in the sense that you're deeply thinking about the kind of person that you are, like triggering some sort of intellectual mindset within you, as well as letting people see it from the, I feel like, I don't know, yellow just feels very mature to me. So it's like if people see yellow on you, or if you're wearing yellow in general, it does give more of, again, a mature energy, but it also gives a lot of optimism. And sometimes I've noticed a lot that people usually don't like neon colors, like neon yellow, neon green, and things like that. And I feel like the correspondence of that color as a whole does play a role. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that they don't like the neon yellow, the neon green, it's probably because those colors make them feel a type of way, in whichever way, which colors do evoke a lot of emotion. Obviously, as y'all know, there's color psychology and all that other stuff. But yeah, I feel like with the color yellow, that's also a statement piece in my opinion, but I feel like red is very much like bold, and then yellow is kind of like, okay, like let's keep it up from here. Let's be happy kind of thing. And I feel like if you're that kind of person, that's totally fine. But I will say that this is more of a color that you wear with intention for sure. Because I feel like it's not really how I am with the color yellow, but every single time I wear yellow, I always think to myself that I know that it looks very cheery and like optimistic. I always feel that way. It feels like a sunshine. All right, so then the next color, red, orange, yellow, green. Okay. So the next color is green, and green always symbolizes growth. It always symbolizes basically starting over in some way in which you're creating your own paradise within your reality. It represents nature, as y'all know. It's a very, I would say, like a very balanced kind of color, as well as it demonstrates wealth. Every single time I wear green, every time I wear green, I always think about the fact that I'm a Capricorn and I'm an earth sign, and that it's also linked to money, obviously. So wealth and riches and things like that. If you're going to be wearing the color green, understand that people are probably going to find it very neutral in general. They're going to see it and they're going to feel like, oh, like it's a very not a monotone color, because to me green is not monotone, but it's kind of just like a very it's like the neutrals, like the neutral colors. You see tan, you see brown, you see black, you see white, green, a certain shade of green, things like that. It just brings a kind of also like a mature energy, but it also shows people that, I don't know, naturally speaking, to me, it feels like good health. You know what I'm saying? It feels like being somebody who's naturally abundant minded, somebody who attracts good health in general as well. I feel like anytime that I see, usually younger people, I feel like in their 20s or as a teenager, people like that who wear the color green out in public, I always see it as a color reminder of nature. Always. I always see it that way. And I always feel like it corresponds with, again, money or someone who's very hardworking. I feel like the color green also is linked to Virgos, in my opinion. And y'all know Virgos are very hardworking. Excuse me, they don't play about the stuff that they do within their realities because they're very busy people. But the color green certainly does go to showcase that. I feel like it always shows you thumbs up, keep it pushing in your direction, keep doing what you're doing because obviously it's working, things like that. And it always demonstrates itself very well, but very calmly. And that's what I love about green. But it definitely is something it tells a story in a way. And I also want to show you guys how colors are like so important in different cultures. So this is from Ecuador. These are dresses that are from Ecuador and everything, and as y'all can see, look how colorful all these things are. I mean, it's always been said that having and wearing a lot of colors shows a lot of freedom in the sense that you're able to express yourself as you do, and that you don't have to fear basically being someone that you're not, because some people may feel uncomfortable by that, because some people do get annoyed, honestly, by a lot of people who wear a lot of accessories. I'm not saying a lot of people get annoyed, actually. I feel like it triggers people's egos sometimes when they see you dressing the way that you dress, being as you are, whether you're wearing black or you're wearing a bunch of different colors on your body, bro, like the rainbow. Either way, no matter what it is that you wear, it always tells a story. And I also want to show you guys how, the story that I'm stating with colors, all the different flags of the world, they're all very colorful flags. It's because colors literally have meaning, and a lot of them are green, as you can see, and also red. So I feel like that's something that does demonstrate itself, and they also have white. So I feel like it does speak, like I stated, for itself. But okay, so after green, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. So the next one is blue. Okay. So blue, like I stated, is a very calming color. To wear the color blue is basically being somebody who's very communicative. You're someone who's very open to speaking up your mind. I know that for myself, every time I see the color blue, I always think of that because it reminds me of the throat chakra, which that's what it's linked to. And also, by the way, guys, the green color green is linked to the heart chakra. So that's obviously the way that you feel, the way that you present yourself, the way that you're connected to the world and earth, things like that. But yes, with blue, you're also very outspoken and you have a lot of confidence in what it is that you say because you're somebody who doesn't care to speak your mind, like you want to, and it doesn't make you feel afraid to do that. Okay. So alongside that, with also having like the wearing the color green and stuff like that on your body, it also demonstrates having a lot of truth, like speaking a lot of facts in life and telling people the truth about their realities and things like that. I honestly will say that the lighter blue that you wear is the calmer. So the more that people will feel inclined to just chill out around you and to, what's it called, feel more driven to being sensitive, to being open, to just being calm because they feel like they can trust you. And then darker blues, I feel like, are more serious, but they still all entail the same thing, which is that you are practicing communication and that you're willing to speak up more for yourself and things like that. And I honestly feel like if you're going to be in a presentation, if you're going to be at school giving a speech or something like that, I feel like wearing the color blue in some sense is going to help emulate the way that you speak and the way that you successfully communicate yourself or express yourself, right? And yeah, so I feel like with the color green, I'm sorry, with the color blue and everything else for that matter, having a lot of peace around you is something that you should always keep in mind, but also remember that alongside you having a lot of peace, you're also being very honest about whatever it is that's on your mind. Do not be afraid to speak up for what you know is right, and to have a lot of pride in everything that you do and especially speak about. That's like the biggest thing. But okay, so after blue, we have purple, which let's see if I have it here. Okay, so yes, purple. So as y'all know, purple is a mixture of blue and violet. And what this is tied all back to is intuition. And that's always, again, what I think every single time I wear purple. I always think about how purple is like a majestic color, and purple is also a very intuitive color because it rules the third eye chakra. And of course, the third eye chakra is responsible for the way that you perceive in this reality. If you see things for how they are, it comes down to your intuition, the way that you want to be honest about yourself and the world, the people around you, whatever it is that you see and whatever it is that you witness, and anything that you're a part of in general. The color purple is going to bring out a very spiritual energy. And every single time I see people wear purple, I always think of the same thing because to me, it always reminds me of magic. I'm not saying literal magic like spells and things like that, but I mean the way you speak is magic. The way that you think is magic. All that stuff is magic anyway. So I guess you could say literal magic. Yes. Yeah. So anytime I see purple on a person, I always assume that there's somebody who's deeply intuitive, and it's always like this because every single person that wears purple that you can tell sits right on them, like they really like the color purple. It's because that's probably a part of their aura, and that's always how it's been. Every single person I've met who loves the color purple, their aura has had purple in it. And those who have a purple aura are very intuitive, okay? They don't play psychic awareness on 110%. And a lot of times they don't even realize that. But if you tell them, they'll start to peep it because they kind of already know. You know what I'm saying? Like you tell them and they're like, "Oh, well, my whole life I've been very intuitive here. I've been able to see the truth about these kinds of things or whatever." And it just speaks for itself. Like, "Oh, okay, that makes so much sense." I mean, of course, purple's all around you. So yes, if you're going to wear the color purple, I feel like please be sure that you're going to attempt to be comfortable with your spirituality. You're going to sink back into the way that you see this world, and you're going to be honest with yourself about the truth behind things. If you feel energies that you know are either amazing or not so amazing, whatever, are you going to be honest about these things, or are you just going to pretend like you don't feel them because you're afraid? Don't be afraid. Always have confidence, and remember that purple is a very spiritual and powerful color as a whole, okay? Now, alongside that, I want to say with the white, the color white, that rules your crown chakra, which is up here, and this is what connects you to the universe. If you have any communications with God, which we all do because we are gods within ourselves, we're able to communicate with our higher selves. We have that connection to spirituality as a whole. The crown chakra is going to help you connect to that. Okay. So when you wear white, as y'all know, it does represent purity, it represents innocence. Y'all have heard that plenty of times before, I'm sure, in general, but that's more in Western cultures, which is also something that we realize. But in other cultures, such as in Asian cultures or even Eastern, there is a representation that white represents mourning, meaning like death and things like that. And that's something that's a lot different than what we're used to, in like North America. But obviously, regardless of that, that just goes to show that if you're somebody who wears white and you present yourself in that way, spiritually speaking, you're probably going to be seen a certain type of way because of the energy behind it. So people may see you and they may assume, like, oh, like, oh, she's wearing white, pearly white. You know what I'm saying? Like a pure, innocent being and things like that. I'm not saying they're going to see you that way, but that's the energy it gives off. And I can tell y'all, one time I was walking in LA and I was wearing all white. And I remember this lady just yells across the street, like, what did she say? She was like, "You're wearing, oh, like all white, all white." Like she kept talking about my all white outfit. And I remember thinking, like, shit, I knew this outfit was going to be too powerful. Like that's literally what I thought, because that's what it felt like to me. Like that's the energy I put into it when I was looking at this outfit, right? So I feel like with that being said, for all of you guys as well, it of course goes down to how you perceive the way that you're wearing what you wear, the colors that you wear, but it's still something that counts for something if you believe that it always does. You know what I'm saying? If you're like, "Oh, colors don't matter, no matter what I wear, it's not going to matter." If there's someone in the room who finds importance in colors, they're going to see the energy of what you're wearing, even if you choose not to. Okay. So I feel like that's something for me. Like I stated, I do it all the time naturally. It's not something where I'm like, let's analyze what this person's wearing and what the color means. It's just, you see them and you're like, okay, I don't know, like that's cool. it probably represents this and represents that. That may be more from an intuitive space because I'm someone who likes to, go off of that a lot, intuition. But I feel like it's very common, regardless of whether a person realizes that they do that or not, like that they analyze these things. I feel like everyone does naturally, just naturally. It's in our souls. Now, the last color I want to talk about is black, which does represent authority. So when you wear black, I know that sometimes people may say like, "Oh, they're emo" or some shit like, "Oh, they're gothic" or whatever. The truth behind the color black is that the color black is actually a very powerful color because it also has to do with maturity and aging, wisdom, and it's funny because in this case, like in Eastern cultures and stuff like that, in what's it called, like in Western culture, sorry. No, 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 not Western. In African cultures and other cultures that are not Western, it's actually like the opposite of what they're used to hearing. You know what I'm saying? Like black is dark, is this, is that. But in reality, in other parts of the world, black, the color black, is a very strong persisting color basically that makes you into somebody who's able to overcome any kinds of what's it called, like problems in life due to your maturity, that you're getting better with your age. So anytime that I wear black or somebody else wears black, I never assume like, oh, they're gothic or whatever, because I've gotten that. People have been like, are you gothic, are you this? And I'm like, bro, like literally because I'm wearing black, no, like that's not enough. I feel like the way that I see it whenever I wear black and other people is that they probably are someone who's very serious in their energy and they know who they are, and the tone is very loud. It speaks for itself. You know what I mean? Because I know for myself, I wear a lot of black, but it's not because of any reason other than the fact that I think it compliments me a lot, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like spiritually speaking, I feel like it does compliment me and it's very fitting, but it's not because I'm depressed or whatever. It's literally because I just feel like I know myself. Like it's a very bold thing to do. Like it's, you go anywhere and you're wearing all black. Usually it's associated with funerals and things like that. But if you're bold about it, no one's going to care. And on top of that, like who cares about other people caring? It's more of just the fact that you know yourself, your personality, your your power from the inside out. Even if you're not fully in tune with that yet, you have like some sort of understanding, and you wearing all black only amplifies the confidence that you have in yourself. I feel like that's how it's perceived, almost like um how do I say it? Almost like people feel threatened by it, but they don't understand why. But it's just natural because you have, again, such confidence in yourself, especially when you're wearing black. And I feel like the same thing with the wearing the color green and wearing the color brown. It kind of goes together with being very, what's it called, like grounded in life, being very open to nature, and being someone who's very mature. I feel like brown represents maturity more than green does, in my honest opinion. But I feel like green does as well. I just feel like brown represents an ultimate sense of maturity. And then to wear the color gray, I feel like that is not something that, despite some people who may have been judgmental of the color gray, I feel like it does represent having a sort of balance and detachment in life in general. And if you wear the color gray a lot, you could be somebody who kind of just goes throughout life and you just do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you're living your best life, you're vibing, all that, but you're also very headstrong on what it is that you have to get done. You don't play games about your time. Very serious. I feel like this is probably the most serious Virgo like color to me. That's how I see it. So, yeah, that's basically the rundown, guys, on what the colors mean. I've been talking for 23 minutes straight, so damn period. That's crazy. It always goes so fast and I don't even realize it. But I'm going to be reading the comments now. So thank you guys so much for listening to that. And I truly intend that my definitions here have given y'all a whole different sense of what y'all assume the colors to be for you. Okay, when you wear them, when you are how you are, whatever, just wear your color according to how you feel. But also remember that everything is, it's always up to your own interpretation. And I also feel like, last thing, that the color pink is a representation of love, just like the heart chakra. Green and pink both rule the heart chakra. So the color pink, wearing that, certainly represents, I feel like, a more childish energy, but in the sense that you're just, very loving and caring like a child is. So I feel like whenever I wear the color pink, I love it. It does represent to me a little bit of like a princess energy, but not genuinely. I don't feel like a prima donna or anything whenever I wear pink. I just feel like it's very cute, frilly, and free. So when people see it, I feel like it calms them down, and it almost paints a kind of picture of how you are, how loving you are, and how kind you are to people who see you wearing that color pink. But okay, guys, Hey guys, happy New Year's. Oh my God. Okay, so someone asked me how my figure skating going. It's going so good, and y'all know like I'm practicing off ice axles now. So I actually didn't get to go today because of something that happened, but I'm gonna go for the rest of this week. I'm gonna go very early because I want to practice as much as I possibly can. But I've been practicing off ice axles and it's so much fun. Oh my God. Like I'll give y'all an update when I take proper videos of me doing them, but I've gotten almost to the 1.5 rotation finally off ice so that I could go on the harness and do it on ice, you know? So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for always asking. I really appreciate that a lot. Happy New Year's, everyone. Happy New Year's. What happens if someone wears a mask, sorry. If someone wears a mask, nothing really happens. I'm assuming you mean like what? Like the spirituality behind wearing masks? I honestly feel like masks represents protection as a whole. I feel like that's more of a anytime I see someone wearing a mask, I mean for one it's never bothered me just to say that because I know some people got really bothered during COVID and stuff. I don't give a fuck. That was completely necessary. But let's say today I was at the store and I saw someone wearing a mask and there could have been a reason. Maybe they were sick or something. But when I saw it, the first thing I thought is like that person probably wants like an extra level of protection and they don't want I feel like they don't want people closer to them than they should be, basically. So I feel like if a person wears a mask, to me, what it just represents is that the person wants to remain protected and they're taking extra measures to physically feel comforted by their what's it called? Like their what is it called? Like their action of remaining protected. That's it. Okay. Oh, of course. I love you so much, boo. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. English breakfast. I want some English breakfast. Thank you. That means a lot to me. It truly does. I really appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I love y'all so freaking much. Very blessed and so thankful. You guys are the fucking best. What's your fave Aaliyah song? My favorite Aaliyah song. I don't even have a favorite because I love so many, but one that I really love that she wrote herself that I'm very proud of her for having written is Death of a Playa, which I'm sure you probably know. It's never been officially released, but it's featuring her brother and I think it's so cute that they made a song together. So I think that to me is like one of my favorites cuz it's just like a personal favorite. But in general, my God, I love All I Need is I love that song, All I Need. I fucking love that song. Gosh. Thank you for asking me that. I have it like in my head now. Okay, someone said I'm manifesting an SP and I get thoughts like maybe I'm not his type and he wouldn't like me if I didn't manifest it consciously, which is literally just assuming because I can't know that for sure. And even if that was true, it would just be my manifestation selecting a version of him and me. Anyways, his mom passed away and I'm afraid she wouldn't approve of our future relationship because I know the law of assumption. Okay. Okay. Yes, don't overthink that. I know what you're saying, but don't worry. First off, rest in peace to her. Literally rest in peace, but don't ever assume the worst, especially from a person who passed away, bro. Like I'm sure she wouldn't disapprove of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever think about it that way because that doesn't matter at all. Assume that she does approve because you're with him spiritually and regardless of anything else, like it's just the way it is right now. So spiritually speaking, you guys are meant to be right now. You feel me? And that's just the choice that you've made and the way that it's supposed to be, like I stated. But you shouldn't assume that you wouldn't be liked or that this person could not want to be with you if you're not consciously assuming it. Like you stated, it's an assumption anyway. So either way, it's like you're making a choice. You may as well make it in your favor as opposed to assuming that he could not want you or something like that. Like I feel like it's a little silly because it's almost like saying, would I have been this rich if I didn't think I was going to be this rich? I don't know. You could have not been, bruh, but like you chose to be that rich because you chose it. So of course you are now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that gives a lot of peace because it gives you like the clarity of I don't have to worry about it. If I chose it, it is, and it's fine. Like it's not that big of a deal because it's not. But I understand why you're asking. It's because you care a lot and it's understandable. But just know that it's okay and always assume the best and know that the best is going to prove itself to you and your relationship because that's what you deserve for the both of you, you and your SP. I love wearing black. Me too. I'm literally wearing all black right now. Okay. Yes, this is color psychology in some extent, for sure. For sure. I love pink. I feel like it's literally a reflection of me healing because I used to hate it. Maybe I was just repressing my femininity because I felt like it was a weakness. Oh my God, I used to feel that way when I was little because that's how they would kind of demonstrate that. Like if you wore pink, you're too frilly and you're too like all that shit. And if you're like a tomboy or whatever, it was cool. Like that's literally how it was when I was a little kid. I'm talking like when I was under the age of 10. I remember like being a tomboy was cool, being a girly girl was not, and all this corny shit. But yeah, literally whatever, but I love wearing pink and I feel the same way. Like I feel like it's made me feel very I feel like it's made me feel strong as like a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I love being a girl, obviously. So I love wearing it. I always love the color pink. It's one of my favorite colors. My favorite colors are white, pink, and black. All right. Let's see what else. I love all the colors actually. I'm like capping, bro. I love all the colors, but I really love pink a lot. Okay. I wear red mostly, also like gray and black. Yes, so that demonstrates the strength that you have. You're probably someone who's rather serious in life, but just like someone who's very knowledgeable. You probably just are very smart, like educated. That's the vibe that I get from that. Someone said, I love purple. It's so calming, and I love how it's also linked to royalty. Yes, it is. And that also makes you into a person who, again, is very intuitive, naturally speaking. It is linked to royalty. And I feel like royalty also comes with the acceptance of knowing who you are and being very strong minded about who you are and about your belief system too. So it's a lot of confidence back to back to back. What do you know slash think about Lilith? Is she really an evil demon, or she was just framed that way and is actually a symbol of women empowerment and liberation? Okay, so my perception regarding demons has changed a lot for the reason that I realize now. I mean, I always knew this, but demons and all that stuff, they don't have nearly as much power over you as people feared. I really feel like it's people's egos that make the shitty decisions in life, because a demon can't make you do anything unless you're like literally willing to listen to that. I feel like that's something that you make a choice to do. But with that being said, with Lilith, I don't feel like any demon has that much power at all to be able to hurt people or whatever. I feel like Lilith is definitely a good representation of, yes, like liberation, especially with women and sexuality and femininity and things like that, because there's a lot of power behind it. And it's just like listening to Medusa and other stuff like that, where you're listening to it from a story, a perspective of women empowerment, although they were attempted to be brought down in some sense. So I do feel like if you're gonna like work with Lilith and kind of play into that, I feel like it's important to just have a very separate mindset of like the demonology aspect of it, because obviously you don't want to get into anything that you that doesn't feel right with you, but also understand that there's a side to all of these things that demonstrate a whole different perspective of liberation and of basically using everything to your advantage. So just like you can learn from in the Bible, let's say like Satan or something like that, you can learn lessons through the stories that you've read or the things that you've heard about that, and not just be afraid because, oh my god, it's Satan. Like, you have more power than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have so much power all over all of those things. Never let anyone make you feel afraid like you're damned or something. Everything's going to be fine. It's just all perspective of seeing it for what it is in terms of what it can teach you spiritually speaking, because there's a lot of lessons to be learned through things like this, including Lilith, for example. And pink when I'm feeling swaggeristic. That's funny. I like that. Swaggeristic, period. What's your thoughts on red and black combined? That's so funny. It kind of reminds me of Freddy Krueger, because doesn't he have like the red and black jacket? Personally, it reminds me of Freddy. Actually, no, he doesn't have red and black. He has red and dark green. I'm pretty sure, like a navy green or something. I actually don't mind red and black together because I feel like it is kind of complementary. I feel like it's been painted a lot in Western, like propaganda and shit like that, to be demonstrated as something very demonic and like the antichrist and stuff like that. But personally, the way I see red and black is just a very strong like kind of like liberation, like we were just stating, in terms of you knowing yourself because of the black, and then the red having a lot of fire as well, where you're able to passionately express yourself or even feel very deeply about yourself and your reality. And so I feel like red and black together is pretty cute, honestly. And I feel like if you're gonna wear it, I feel like wear it in a way that complements you. Don't do too much of either. Like, I feel like don't wear. I feel like red pants and black top is cute, actually, very cute. I feel like more the combination of wearing like striped stuff is a little bit. I feel like that's a little bit. I feel like it's a little more. What is it called? Like, I don't want to say monotone, but it's more of like just flat. I don't know. I guess it's like flat a little bit, but I feel like spiritually speaking, it's still very strong. It just depends on your mindset when you're wearing these things. And yeah, like your intention as well behind wearing those things. Would you consider any colors unlucky or lucky? I know a lot of cultures do that. I personally, I don't believe in that kind of stuff, thankfully. I don't believe in stuff being like unlucky or lucky in that sense. I believe that it's a fear monger kind of thing more than anything else because I don't think that any color could actually negatively affect you unless you perceive that because maybe someone's most hated color is black, right? But another person wears it and they feel super empowered. It's all about your perspective. So I personally don't see it that way, but I do believe that there's I'm sure plenty of cultures that believe I've actually read a lot of cultures who have certain beliefs about the colors depending on their culture and stuff like that. But yeah, for me personally, I don't think like that. No, thankfully. Okay. I notice now that I'm with more of a provider husband. I love wearing pink, period. I'm happy for you. That's what you deserve. Okay, I love that. Also, how do you recommend switching my thoughts in relation to his mom? I mean, spirits don't even stop criminals, so I'm definitely overthinking this. But what mindset should I have in your opinions, my love? Okay. So, let me see what else you wrote. You said, "Would making spells and using glamour mirror magic make us a witch?" Okay, I'll answer that after that actually, because that's separate. Okay, so the way that I would see about her his mom and stuff like that, honestly, since you're manifesting in favor of him and all that, is I would just see it from the perspective of why wouldn't she it's like don't ever make yourself the enemy. Like why do you have to be the person that she hates even though she's not even here. Like she's not physically here to do anything. So it's like don't make it into a story that it doesn't have to be. Just see it from the perspective of, like we're together now because I was meant to help him at this time and I'm sure that she would approve because it's him, like, it's me and it's him. Like, I know who I am. You're a good person, right? And you know he's a good person, so y'all have found each other, and that's a great thing. Like that's a blessing. And that's honestly the way that I would see it. Just see it with empowerment. Don't see it from the perspective of you're living in like a shadow, but more of I'm welcomed. Like it's bright as fuck out here. Everyone accepts me. His family accepts me. His mom accepts me, regardless. And I'm sure that I'll see that. Like say it to yourself, I'm sure that I'll see a sign of that. I'm sure that she'll show me somehow that she does accept me for who I am for him, things like that. And if you see it from this fulfilled perspective, it's going to give you a lot of empowerment over the way that things can be perfect with him and alongside also you making the situation with his mom a lot better mentally for yourself. So it helps a lot. But don't worry. Like don't worry for real. You have nothing to worry about. You look good in all the colors with your angel wings and stuff. Thank you. That's so sweet. You see them? I'm kidding. Thank you. That's really sweet. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Does everyone's color of their aura change every day or does it all stay the same? Okay, so it doesn't change every day. It changes according to completely different mindset shifts. If you're a different person, what you've been through. I know that I don't remember what my aura was before I went through my spiritual awakening because I never checked. But after I went through my whole spiritual awakening and I completely shifted my mindset, I remember my aura was white. It may have always been white, honestly, but I know some other people whose auras have changed color too. Like some people have gone through maybe they got married or something like that and they have a totally different life now and they're a totally different person because they're surrounded by totally different energy and their life is completely different, all that. I feel like in that case, like I've seen, like I stated, maybe they went from having a yellow aura to a blue aura, and that does make a difference, definitely. But it depends on where they are in life. But the definition of these auras don't change depending on who you are. They're always the same. The colors just change depending on you, okay? But the meanings don't change at all. All right, hold on one second. Would making spells and using glamour magic make us a witch? Is the spell just a placebo technique? What's the real difference between spirituality, esotericism, metaphysics anyway? Okay, so I honestly personally feel like all this stuff plays a role together. I don't feel like it's anything where it's like, oh, this is a totally different thing because these guidelines. I feel like personally for me, it's all the same. I feel like nothing really is that much of a difference. I feel like it's slight altercation, like not altercation, slight definition changes that make it different, but it's under the same category. And I also feel like when making spells and using I feel like it could make you a witch, but I feel like witches are more people who consistently practice spells. I don't practice spells consistently at all. I just go about my day and live my best life or whatever. And I don't consider myself a witch because I don't feel like one. I feel like you feel like a witch when you are a witch when you feel like one, for real. And I feel like a spell is, I don't wanna say it's like a placebo, but I mean, keep in mind that every single thing that we think and talk about are all spells too. So if you wanna make it something else where it's like, "Oh, I casted a spell because I did this," you can. You could see it that way. I feel like it's literally, I honestly feel like the term being a witch and all that is more of an ego label as opposed to it being an actual way of life, because I feel like technically we can all be witches, right? Like we're all witches or whatever, but it's not something you see it that way. So I feel like it's not a placebo, but I think that it's something that, I don't know, I feel like we all we're always casting spells, whether we realize that or not. So I don't feel like it's a placebo. I feel like it's just a way of life, and that's just it. Like you casted that spell just by saying it. You said it's yours, so it is, and there you go. So yeah, it's personally my opinion. But okay, really fast. Let's see what else we got. How do we know that it's time to wait and trust, and when it's time to actively move into law of assumption, do more magic? When I pull cards, I keep on getting trust, but it's kind of hard. Maybe I should pray for patience because I'm a little scared to go into controlling mode and doing stuff versus trusting and waiting for the 3D to catch up to my happy thoughts. I honestly recommend that you continue to just do what you have to do and trust, wait and trust, because I feel like you're gonna have the perfect time for you to like sit down and consciously manifest something. But regardless, always be consciously manifesting everything because you always are. Don't ever think of it as something like, should I use the law of assumption or wait? You're always using the law of assumption. You know what I'm saying? Like you're always using the law of assumption. So don't make it something where it's separate. It's not separate to you living your best life and letting things just come together. If you want to assume something in favor of what you want right now, it's you're using the law of assumption. Like as simple as that is. So I feel like, yeah, pray for patience, but you have patience. You are patient. You just need more of the ego confirmation that everything's going to be fine and that it's going to work out and all this other stuff because you feel like you want to take action. But you can still know it and take action. If you want to manifest something, consciously manifest it, but also know that you got this shit. Like everything's okay. Don't go waiting for something that you create because you can do this, And if you really need that sign right now, just ask for it. Just be like, can you give me a sign that everything's fine, whatever? And then you'll get it. But regardless, like, of course, everything's perfect, no matter what. Okay, I'm going to read a few more and then we're going to get this bread on Thursday. But okay. Someone said, please recommend some book sources to learn more about spirituality. I've been following you for years. Thank you, boo. I really look up to you because you're so knowledgeable. Thank you. Where/how did you learn all this spiritual knowledge? I recommend going onto Thrift Books. Go to Thrift Books right now, thriftbooks.com. They sell so many books on there for the low. And I honestly have not read much of a spiritual book in literally years. I have you see this? These are a bunch of books and cards that I read about demonology and spirituality and all that other stuff. I honestly don't have any recommendations off the top of my head, but please go to Thrift Books and find a book online that you actually want to read that gives you, I would say, look up summaries and look up pages of books that you want to read and read through them to see if you actually want to read them. Because sometimes there were times that I wanted to get books that I didn't actually end up liking fully because it didn't resonate with me truly, but I would find out through friends, through reading portions of it online and stuff like that, that would give me more of a clear picture as to whether or not I actually wanted to invest in a book or whatever. But the way that I learned about spirituality and things like that is honestly mostly through my experience. I've learned so much through experience because I've had no other choice but to just keep on going basically and to be as strong as I could be, really. A lot of it came from channeling too. A lot of it came from myself and every other source of let's say on YouTube. I would look a lot on YouTube years ago. I'm talking now would be 7, 8 years ago. Whoa, that's trippy. That's really weird. What the fuck? I don't believe in time. You see how fake that sounds? That doesn't even sound right at all. But yeah, it was that long ago on YouTube and on the internet. They would have so many sources. Now it's a little bit more opinionated. I feel like a lot of people give their opinions as opposed to facts in that sense. But it's still a lot of knowledge that you could find online if you're looking in the right places. You just have to make sure that your discernment tells you that this person is to be trusted, that you can actually persist with looking in that direction. But yeah, a lot of it has come from my own experience. I'm telling you, whoa, definitely a lot of it has come through my own experience. A lot of the stuff that I learned were from articles as well online. Okay, now continuing on here. What should I do if I feel overwhelmed, like I have so much I need to manifest, but not enough time? Should I just pick one thing and focus on it? Also, I love watching your videos so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. That means a lot to me, genuinely. I feel like if you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you have to manifest a lot of stuff and there's not enough time, cut that shit out. There is so much time. There's always enough time. There's more than enough time. Never assume you're out of time because you never are until or if you ever claim that you are, but you're not. Okay. So I feel like the biggest thing is just understanding that there's always time in this world for you. You will always be abundant with that, and that there's always so much more for you to be able to do in your life. Never again assume less, that you can't, whatever. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. But that's just it. I used to think the same thing, but I would just say to myself, you have all the fucking time in the world. Like, what's the point of me stressing myself out that much when I'm still going to get it done anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, the time always makes itself up for you, but you have to assume in favor of it, and you will always feel abundant with time, and you'll never feel like you're running out because you never are, ever. I'm manifesting an ex which it ended badly because off mental health years ago. The thing is, I don't know if she's even around anymore, if she moved away. Should I just ignore it and think in the end? Also, I believe in the law. I mean, it worked for me all my life, but I got depression. Even if I believe in sad independently, can't focus on bettering myself. Any recommendations? Sorry for bothering. You're not bothering, of course, though. Definitely. I think always assume in the end for sure, because it's going to give you a lot more confidence in the fact that it is definitely already done. But if you feel like you're suffocating with your desire, that's when I recommend that people take a step back so that they can make their lives better, because no one deserves to feel suffocated by their desire. But yes, if you think in the end it's going to benefit you a lot in terms of you just naturally knowing that everything is working out again with this person and things like that. But yeah, honestly, the law of assumption and stuff like that is just go with the flow of understanding that your soul already knows what you want to do in life. You're going to figure out the right way to be successful all around, and that you don't have to figure anything out. Just keep on living and breathing and doing you, and know that everything is going to prove itself to you. Like, you will naturally manifest all that you want, and there's no reason for any kind of like making it dramatic for yourself, basically. Not that you are dramatic, but just that you shouldn't make it harder for yourself than it actually is, because it doesn't have to be like that. Okay, you can definitely do this, and you're going to be okay. I promise. Genuinely, you really are. Just keep yourself strong minded. It's going to help a lot, and you definitely can do it. I promise. Of course, guys, of course. All right, I'm gonna read. Aw, thank you so much, Isaac. That's so sweet. I read your comment. Thank you so much for all your kindness. You guys are so fudging sweet. Okay, okay. I'm gonna read like one more. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's see. So sweet. I get my jewelry from everywhere. This is from Heaven Sent. This is from Heaven Sent. This is a gift. Yeah, I get my jewelry from anywhere that I think is cute. If I see something and I like it, I'll get it. It doesn't matter where. As long as it's not gonna tarnish, I don't care. But okay, last question. Electra, maybe something that holds me back a little is that I'm consciously manifesting this SP and he genuinely makes me happy, even just the thought of him, but I'm consciously deciding what will happen. And you are, as you should. And yes, it's probably because you care a lot, but that's completely fine. It is normal to care that much. Just remember to keep and place and keep yourself on the pedestal, and don't move back for anyone, for anything, including him. Because yes, he makes you happy, but you make him way happier. And that right there gives you like the knowledge base of, yes, I'm in control. I got the shit in the bag. Like, I'm the one who calls the shots here, and you do. And I mean, all relationships should be equal, so you guys make each other equally happy. But just remember that it's not like a power it's not like power and control fight. You guys are completely fine where you are. You're manifesting this, you have trust in it, and you deserve it. So why wouldn't it happen for you? He's not better than you, definitely not. So there's no fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to feel inferior, because you never are. You're always on top, always. Okay. Now, aw, thank you so much, Bab Morley. That's so sweet. Your positive attitude always helps. Thanks. You're one of the only channel that talks genuinely. Thank you so much for telling me that, bro. Like, that means so much to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys more than anything. Now, the last question for real. Last question. How do I know if something I desire appeared because of instant manifestation, or purely a coincidence. No coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences. If you say you have it, I promise you fucking do. Even if you don't physically see it, I promise you guys. Like, actually, the reason I'm saying it like this is because in the 4D, when you say things are done, they actually do end up appearing in your 3D, but you have to persist because wherever you're planting the seed, let's say I'm like, my hair's super long, my hair's super thick, whatever, you planted that seed. Now persist. You're going to physically see the proof of it, but it's because you're allowing yourself to see it that way that makes it your reality. I'm telling y'all for myself, I've manifested longer and thicker hair. My hair's already thick as fudge and I made it thicker. I don't know how, but it's become that way and I'm so thankful for it, but it's because I chose to persist in my beliefs and I'm not obsessive about it either. And even if you are a little obsessive, it's okay, as long as you're not letting your obsession make you feel inferior, because you're not. Okay, guys? This is very, very important. All right. I know heaven sent is so cute. So you think that even if I'm manifesting him consciously, we're still meant to be? How do you define it? Yes, of course, because you want him, bro. Like, I manifested my twin flame, like, period. If I manifested him, then he is. You get me? So if you decide that for yourself, it is definitely done, but you have to like be very sure about it, because sometimes people are like, I think he's the one, but I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. I feel like in those cases, if you're really not sure, that's a little bit different. I've always been very confident. So when I was manifesting my twin flame, I was like, this is the one and that's it. And that was it. You got me? But if I was like, he's the one, but I don't know. No, like, I can't do that, because that's not where I'm headed. I know what I want and I'm getting that shit. And if you say you got yours too, then you do. And just like that. So it is. Guys, I will see y'all this Thursday for another video. Thank you guys so much for everything that y'all do. It was an amazing live today. It's always amazing, but right now I feel like maybe it's the time that I came on, you guys are awake. But thank you guys so much for coming. The people who I usually see, I mean. But thank you guys for everything. I love you guys so freaking much. Thank you guys. And I will speak to y'all very soon on Thursday. I'm very excited. This is going to be the reading. Okay. So on Thursday, prepare for a card reading for your 2026. Okay. Be ready. I don't know how I'm going to set it up yet. I may just show you guys the cards, but I don't know. Maybe I'll show you guys a picture or something, because I want it to be very clear. Maybe if I do it like this, I want it to be very clear, because it's something that you have to intuitively choose. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you 3 different crystals, and whichever crystal you choose will go according to that pile, and that will make the decision. I may not be able to answer too many questions on Thursday, because the live is going to be all about the card readings. But if not, then on Monday I'll be back and I'll answer questions. And if it finishes early, I'll be able to talk then, okay? Like on Thursday. But thank you guys again for everything so much. Truly and genuinely, thank you guys for freaking everything. I love you guys more than anything, for real. Thank you guys. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Please take care, everyone. God bless y'all. We will speak very soon. Have a beautiful night. Bye. Love you. Peace.